understand how your practice is going since you've done that. Are you forming partnerships with other firms and going after things?
In the library?
Yeah, well, after in your own practice.
Yeah, I have. And now we are collaborating with the Danish architects to design a library in Sweden. Yeah.
Oh my God! Talk about opposite worlds.
That is the only one, I would say, collaboration in that.
And why did they come to you, or did you go to them?
They come because
They saw a library that is really amazing.
They saw a great
Looks
library.
very Scandinavian. All that blonde wood.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
right.
true.
But yeah, finally it works well. We won the competition, and now it's under design. But yeah, I think in the library process it's much better. And the problem of the Tokyo situation as we talked is the value of architecture is now, I would say, the floor area, how big is the floor area, and the facade. That's all. And 2 years ago, I remember we worked with Toyo Ito to think about what is the next urban development.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Toyo is interesting.
yeah, and because in Tokyo the urban development is, how to say, really only one style we have.
Dense.
No.
3 stories high and very thick.
Yeah, that's better.
right.
That's better. Now the new urban development is big office tower, 2 residential tower, and the shopping area on the bottom.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
problem.
welcome to America.
Yeah, and
Sorry you got the bad stuff.
And the big problem is the existing city area is high dense and crowded, but it has its historical something. But the new development is completely different.
Problem is, the 3 of us could draw this section of the building right now without even knowing the sign.
No, you just put in a few numbers
Yeah,
and it comes
yeah.
out, right?
Put the column, the elevator, 3
Right,
floors of
right.
parking, 2.5 levels of commercial.
But
We're
what I find very good, which is kind of like this here, the library. I mean, everyone's running to get the latest iPad, to get whatever, the Kindles, you name it. And they're still building libraries. I mean,
know.
what are they doing? Is this like some form of nostalgia?
Well, I
It's
mean,
just
the
like
buying
a
of books is
civic-
the buying
It's
of
just
books
like-
is increased actually.
Yeah, so we tried to create the new development, but exactly
Yeah.
like existing Tokyo situations.
Yeah.
Crowded, small scales.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the
sure,
new
scales.
development's opposite
Yeah.
is Sendai, which Ito did, which is
Yeah.
more of an open plane of sections rather than isolated vertical movement, which is completely opposite
Yeah.
terrain of Japanese culture.
So we thought about the situation about the opposite, the value or the new value of the urban development
Yeah.
we were looking for. And finally we couldn't reach to such a, how to say, big goal, but we thought about, for example, the ground will be another possibilities for the high rise. The high, the high rise, the high line,
The High Line, yeah.
and much more 3-dimensional ground.
Well,
level.
Japan is so 2, 3, 4 levels. I mean, it's like Bangkok. It has a very rich, thick terrain.
Yeah.
It's not one floor.
It's only for trains.
Right,
So
right.
we thought, not only trains, but for people to create a ground level, multiple ground levels, or the sloping ground level.
Yeah, no, it's
because
great.
Tokyo area is not flat. It has
No.
very various sloping landscapes.
Yeah, because
So-
you become mid-level in many places in Tokyo.
Yeah, so we thought about how to integrate such an existing, the nice value of Tokyo to new development to create or to shift the architectural value from just economical things to more.
The architecture there is more revealing that terrain, which is quite wonderful, which I think architecture does, reveal that social cultural terrain, but also create those linkages, which is sort of another architecture, sort of an architecture between buildings rather than architecture attracting people. It's an architecture between buildings, which I think it's not infrastructure actually. It really is architecture that moves people. It's again much more like Rome of 6th to 5th. It was really space, not buildings, because they had plenty of buildings. They just didn't know what to do with it. but it's
Right.
correct. It's
Yeah.
creating a new direction.
Mm.
That's interesting. Are you guys doing this as part of a biennial? You said there's one happening every month, and
Yeah, it's
Is
just
it-
a kind of training.
yeah,
So Toyota and other 3 young architects. So we proposed. the
you should
idea.
come to New York. We should do that with us. Yeah. No, I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not
yeah.
kidding. I mean, one of the great thing about Parsons right now is
Yeah.
is it's wide open. I mean, the whole agenda for us is
Yeah.
a place to convene a discussion about New York, because we're not in the same era that we were with Philip Johnson and that whole agenda. We have a whole. I mean, it's a whole
Yeah.
different
Sure.
conversation.
For
I,
sure.
I'm not quite sure about.
Yeah.
No, I am.
No,
Because,
no, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
No.
not in the other axes of
Okay.
the major ivies, but
Mhm.
but I mean, what's interesting in some regards, there's a real interest at that level down here. I mean, you know, actions in Brooklyn and actions in other areas
Yeah.
at that level, but it is a different kind of architecture, which is
Yeah, I think.
really quite nice.
Yeah, because thinking about the how to say economical priority
Right.
as maximum, the typology of the buildings will be how to say the building
Mhm.
that we knew. So I think how to shift the value of the architecture, of course including the economical value, of course, but the plus alpha or different value we have in our life. So I like to integrate such kind of joyful feelings
Right.
or the rich feelings. Yeah.